The reason you're not making the money you want is not the market, and it's also not your product, it's your team, and more exactly, the way you build it. You can have the best offer in the world, you can have perfect market conditions, but if your team sucks, your result will suck too. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take an underperforming team and turn them into a bunch of killers so you can make more money without hiring more people or dumping more cash into ads. I'm Quentin, and I run 20-Hour Founder. We help 6- and 7-figure founders build a business they can run in 20 hours per week without cutting profit by fixing who they hire, how they train, and what they delegate. Most business owners make excuses that the market is saturated, or that their offer needs tweaking, or that they just need to blow more money or spend more money on ads, like that's the solution. But the thing is that if your team can't generate leads and can't execute on them and then deliver a great product or service without you, more leads or better offers are just exposing how weak the business or machine really is. So we're going to talk about 3 things. The first one is that you need to stop hiring cheap people. Then you need to meet your people where they are skill-wise in order to be able to upgrade them. And then we're going to look at how we can upgrade their skills so you build a great team. And if we manage to do all 3, we will both be very happy because I will have shot a great video and you will be super stoked because you will be able to implement this tomorrow. So topic number 1. Stop hiring cheap. I mean, most founders will spend aggressively, will spend tons of money on ads, on software, on licenses, on offices, probably even your own car, but then suddenly you all become a bunch of bargain hunters when it comes to salaries. I mean, cheap hires are fucking expensive. You pay mistakes, you pay in your own time, and you pay in lost revenue, because there is very often a reason why people ask for a high salary. Most of the time, it's because they're good. So let's remember this thing here. Good people are not cheap, cheap people are not good. I mean, would you rather pay 50K to make 150K, or would you rather pay 80K to make 300K? Because I'm sure you would take the second deal every day of the week and twice on Sunday. And because you and I both know that the second rep, the second hire, asking for 80K is way cheaper per dollar of revenue. So what I want you to understand here is that salary is a signal of value. It's not a guarantee by any means, by any ways, it's not a guarantee, but trying to underpay will guarantee you something. It will guarantee you that you will filter out all the killers, the A players, and the people you really want. And that's how you're left with the bottom of the barrel. So stop asking, what's the lowest I can pay, and start asking, what's the best person I can afford who I'd happily pay more if they deliver? Because we know how it goes. It's not that you're cheap or you're not being cheap on purpose. You're being cheap because you're scared of what's going to happen. You're scared of paying a B or a C player A player money. But you wouldn't have anything against paying an A player money. Just do this for shits and giggles. Write down your last 5 hires, and then in one column you write down the salary. And in the other column you write down the value they brought or the revenue they brought in the next. And then you make a side-by-side comparison. Who was actually the cheapest and who was actually the most expensive? I think you'd be surprised, or not, but by any means, do the exercise. And the second thing I wanted to touch on is meet people where they are skill-wise. If your team underperforms because they're undertrained, that's on you, Jack. People can only perform at the level of their skills, plus the clarity, the tools, the systems, the playbooks, and everything you gave them. So, for example, look at your process. Take your marketer, your salesperson, your operator, whoever, and then list 3 key outcomes they own, like leads generated or calls booked or projects completed on time, whatever it is. And then for each of those outcomes, list 1 or 2 critical skills that drive it. So take copywriting, take closing, take project management or communication, and then rate each skill on a 1 to 10 based on reality and not hope. So please leave your ego at the door. Don't think that your team is a bunch of killers, because if they were, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. You know, most they suck complaints are actually they're a 4 out of 10 at one core skill and you never fixed it. Let's take a marketer, for example. He is like a 7 out of 10 on design and 8 out of 10 on targeting, but he's a 4 out of 10 on copy. Well, because of that 4 out of 10 on copy, it doesn't matter how good his other skills are, your whole funnel and your whole results will suffer because of that. Tonight, pick one key role, write 3 outcomes and 3 skills, and then give people honest 1 to 10 scores, and then circle the lowest one. And that is a single most important thing you have to fix with that person. That's your first biggest lever. I can't stress enough how important it is to train people for the right thing. And then the third thing we're going to do is increase skills. And you've got 2 options. Once you know the weak skill, either you buy or you build. And by buying, I mean that you pay for someone or you hire someone new who's already great at that thing. But that means you have to fire the person you already have, and we don't want that. What we want is to take that person and then elevate them to the next level. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to build, so train the current person. Give that person permission to invest. Give them a budget. I mean, if you have a marketer right now, you're probably blowing 10 to 20K per month on ads, but then you're hesitating to spend 1 or 2K on a course or a coach for that person to make better ads or whatever it is. And that's fucking backwards. I mean, you're a business owner, for crying out loud. I'm sure you paid way more than that on leadership training, on executive coaching, on communication seminars, on whatever it is. You pay that money for yourself because you know that you're worth it. And you know that every time you follow such a trainer or consulting or coach or whatever, you improve. And because you improve, your business makes more money for it. Well, it's the exact same thing with your team. The more you invest in your team, the more money they make you. And the good news is that training employees is a lot cheaper than all those things you follow yourself. So to go back to my marketer example, they're an 8 out of 10 on creative, 7 out of 10 on delivery. So take the marketer example again. If they're an 8 out of 10 at creative and 7 out of 10 at targeting, but they're a 4 out of 10 at copy. Moving copy from a 4 to a 7 will have a much bigger impact on your numbers than trying to squeeze, an 8 to a 9 on design, because the designs are already good and great designs with shitty copy still turn into shitty ads. So that's one thing. You can train them by having external people training them. But there is another solution too. Most people suck at something because they do it twice a month. I mean, give somebody 20 to 30 reps in a week for a few weeks. Have them write 20 emails, have them do 20 cold calls, have them do 20 client reports with feedback, and then watch what happens. I mean, totally unrelated analogy. I'm great at making pasta because I cook it all the time. I like it. I think it's delicious. My wife likes my pasta. My kids like my pasta. Everybody's happy. But my guacamole tastes like dog shit. You know why? It's because I don't like to eat it and I almost never make it. But if you forced me to make guac every day for 3 weeks, you'd start asking if my mom's Mexican. So, to put it really simply, frequency plus feedback equals greater skills. Here's a quick 10-minute team upgrade audit for you. The first step is that you pick one role that annoys you the most. Then you write 3 outcomes they're responsible for. You list 3 skills that drive those outcomes. You rate each skill from 1 to 10, and then you decide if the weakest skill is a 2 out of 3 and you need an 8 like yesterday, then you probably have a hiring problem. But if it's a 4 to a 6 out of 10 and they're solid everywhere else, well, then you've got a training problem or an experience or repetition problem. So next week, your only job as the leader, as the business owner, is either to hire for that missing skill or to put one concrete training plus reps plan in place for your current person. Look, you don't fix revenue with more leads when your people system is broken. You fix the people first, and then you pour more gas on the fire.